City Council point of view, and today we're joined by Alex Arvidsson.
So hi everyone, my name is Alex. I'm a commissioning officer for local authority Plymouth City Council. So I started as a commissioning assistant in January 2021 and I've recently been promoted as a commissioning officer.
Oh, thanks, Alex.
It's good to see you, Alex.
So my name is Hayley, Boulden, and I'm joined by my colleague Donna, Schell. We're both from the regional lead team within the capacity tracker. So yeah, we're just going to have a bit of a chat, Alex, today really about how Plymouth have been using the capacity tracker. So I guess first it would be really great to hear how you think using the tracker has changed the way that staff in Plymouth work.
Yeah, of course. I think, well, first of all, thank you for having me today. I think the capacity track has been imperative for the way we work in Plymouth. There's lots of teams within Plymouth that use the capacity tracker, everything from Quay to the bed bureau, etc. So I think the capacity track has been really, really important because there's a lot of challenges that the social sector is facing, limited budgets and just many other things. So we need to just be able to work smarter and more efficiently through better partnership work and through integrated systems. And this is where we feel that the capacity tracker is really beneficial. So the real-time data that we get really does help us to be more proactive and well informed when we are contacting our providers. But more importantly, it enables us to kind of plan and identify pressure areas quicker and better via the appropriate escalation routes. So it's been really, really helpful. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely crucial, and totally endorse what you have to say, Alex, about partnership working and how those partners need to have timely and accurate data at their fingertips to make those key decisions. You and I have been working for a number of months now, and it's been good to see how Plymouth has actually applied themselves to using this tool and work with your providers in doing so. So I just wonder whether you could expand a little bit on some of the applications, if you like, and how you've actually used the tracker with your stakeholders.
Yeah, of course. So we use the capacity tracker on a daily basis. We also supplement it with existing sort of local intelligence to get what we need. So one of the key areas that we look at is obviously care home bed availability. Yeah. So we work closely with our in-house team, the Bed Bureau. So we match individual needs from the hospital and community with resource. And in order to do that, we look at the real-time figures from the capacity tracker, match it with existing data tools where we've got information about equipment and the layout of the care homes, and that enables us to kind of get a rapid response to target support, which is the best way to move forwards. We do also use other areas of the tracker as well, such as the vaccination program. Very, very important. I've been heavily involved in that for Plymouth. And what we look at is obviously the real-time figures. So that enables us to really focus on the unvaccinated staff and residents and try and identify trends and see what we can do to support them, whether it's through walk-ins or hesitancy work and that sort of thing.
Yeah, the vaccination program and the questions that we've invited people to comment on and input data on, absolutely crucial. And bed capacity, clearly a topical kind of very topical at the moment, and no doubt for the foreseeable future.
And I just came off the national webinar yesterday, so obviously there was that was themed around sort of booster uptake, and obviously flu uptake is a significant thing as well nationally. So that's what we are focusing on from a Plymouth perspective, and it really does help.
Great stuff. No, you've been doing some very good work around that. What about some of the kind of other areas like workforce and managing PPE, for instance, and how do you use it for that purpose?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of other areas that we also look at inevitably. So we've definitely been monitoring the workforce gap in terms of the current workforce, in terms of any staff absence due to COVID or non-COVID, use of agency staff, just looking at general staff movement. And we've been linking that in with the sort of the grant funding that we've been getting via CCG, etc. So it's been really key to really understand how providers have been spending the money in terms of use of agency staff, etc. But also really understanding the staffing levels for each care home. So obviously we do understand there's care staff shortages on a national level, but also on a local level. And it was really interesting to see the impact the new legislation had to care homes as well, in terms of staff leaving as a result of not wanting to be vaccinated. So as a result, we've been closely monitoring and assisting providers with recruitment where possible. So it's been vital.
That's really interesting. Really interesting. Alex, you're clearly an advocate for the tracker. You use it to its, I would suggest, its full potential. I'm interested in how you feel it's received, if you like, by those that we rely upon inputting the data and inputting it in a certain way, certain regularity. How do you feel they respond to that, and how do we support them in that?
Sure. Yeah,
the providers.
The providers. So I feel like any new system, any new process, there's always going to be an element of skepticism in terms of there's an extra bit of work that I need to do. I do my day-to-day stuff, but then there's a bit of admin work that I need to do. So I think what was really important in the beginning was really to identify for myself as well, and from a council perspective, was really to understand what the tracker is all about, sorry, just getting a phone call. That busy. What the tracker is all about, what are the advantages, what are the benefits, what are the key areas and elements, how this is going to really benefit the providers in the long term. So I feel in the short term, it was really just kind of getting them to really understand the benefits and what it's all about, how that's going to help. And I think what they've as soon as they've had the relevant training and kind of understood that process, they've been able to kind of, they've been quite positive about it, and they've been engaging a lot. And we've seen a significant improvement from a Plymouth perspective, both for care homes and home care providers, which is important. I think just kind of going into more detail with the question, I think in terms of admin, I think from our perspective and from the providers themselves, it's really definitely reduced the number of calls, the volume of calls that we do on a daily and the weekly, because we're more informed, and we don't just do any guesswork. We really focus and target the providers that need the most support, whether it's vaccinations or not. And I think also in terms of the benefits that the providers are having is, if they're really engaging with the tracker, they're then eligible to receive, the infection prevention control fundings, etc. So there's that financial incentive as well that really drives the engagement, etc. So I think overall, there may be some sort of skepticism, but I think everyone's really familiarized with it and really understand the benefits. So that's important.
Yeah, and I think it's really key that your providers sort of understand how you as a local authority and your sort of neighbouring CCJs and other areas sort of use the information as well. So they're sort of seeing actually people are looking at what I'm inputting and utilising that to help me. And it's really good to hear that you think it sort of saved them a bit of time and yourselves a bit of time with phone calls, which is obviously something that ourselves as the tracker team was a big aim at the beginning. So that's really
I think just one of the key aspects when we listen to providers is obviously with the ongoing winter pressures, it's inevitably always going to be a challenge with staff absence and just being able to engage throughout the year. There's always going to be some issues there, and I think there's always going to be so many changes, with the vaccinations, let's say dose 1, dose 2, booster, flu. So it's just, I think one of the key things that we've identified is providers just need to keep double checking different areas when they're inputting data. So they just, so there's that element that does get a bit more difficult, but there are so many variables to think about. And I think, but overall, I think that, providers are understanding the benefits of inputting that data.
No, it's certainly good to hear, and it is our joint kind of objective to really support providers in doing what we're asking them to do, because we understand the demands that are being placed upon them, and we're adding to those in some ways. So if we can try and kind of work towards giving something back to them, and making sure that they can feel that they're getting that direct or indirect benefit from the use of the tracker, it's crucial, and certainly crucial for the whole system. But great to hear your experiences, Alex, and thank you very much for sharing those. I really appreciate that.
No worries, pleasure. Yeah, it's been wonderful to work with you guys, and I feel yeah, you guys are just very approachable, really friendly, really helpful, and yeah, it's a pleasure to work with you guys, and you know, help both ways.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, especially for people sort of that might be a bit newer to the tracker with such high staff turnover. That's nice to hear. Yes, we're hopefully are friendly and approachable. Open to questions and suggestions anytime. That's great. Was there anything else that either of you guys wanted to add?
I don't think so. I think, you know, there are ample kind of opportunities to get further information around the use of the tracker. I think, you know, Alex's experience, I know that you're willing for people to make contact with you directly, Alex, and we really welcome that, because I think in a second we'll share your contact details so that people can do that and hear from you direct.
Yeah, if anyone's got any questions or anything, please don't hesitate.
Yeah,
just do reach
out.
I'm happy to help.
Yeah,
really appreciate that. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, both Donna and especially Alex, for your time. I think that's been really, really good just to hear how you in Plymouth have been using the tracker and how it's been benefiting your providers and your staff, which is ultimately the point, really, isn't it? So just again, huge thank you. And thank you everyone to listening and watching this video. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.